I'm Jenna, and I'm here at the Waterwise Community Center in Montclair. We're on Tongva land, and we're here today to talk about runoff. And so first, let's think about what runoff means. Think about the two words that are in runoff. So run and off. And so runoff is when water falls down onto the earth as rain or snow, and then runs off and down streets and sidewalks and yards, and is part of our water system. And we're going to do an experiment today to see how it works. So we're going to use this model, which will help us see how does runoff work in different surfaces that represent surfaces in our environment. And so we have this surface right here, some cement. And what does that remind you of? Streets or sidewalks in your city? So we have our cement representing the cement and asphalt surfaces in our community. Next up, we have this bare dirt. It's really dry. It can even crumble in my fingers. And so that bare dirt represents bare hillsides, maybe after a wildfire, or also a construction site or an empty lot near our homes in our neighborhoods where there's nothing growing. And finally, we have some plants. So this is like one of those beautiful California golden hills in the summer. And this can represent yards and gardens, this lovely hills like this, maybe once in the spring or winter. And these represent plants in our community. So now we're going to see which ones of these surfaces have the most runoff. So when rain falls on each of these surfaces, how much water will flow downstream and down, in this case, into these cups. So right now, make a prediction. Which one will have the most runoff? Will it be the cement that has the most water going down into the cup, the bare dirt, or the plants? Okay, so you've made your predictions. And so now we're going to test them. We're going to see how much water can end up in each of these cups to see how much runoff we have from each of these surfaces. In order to run a good scientific experiment, we want to keep things the same. And so in this case, when we're pouring water onto these three different surfaces, those are the three surfaces that are different parts of our model, and so everything else will be the same. So one thing we want to keep the same is the amount of water we're pouring on our surfaces. So we're going to pour 150 milliliters onto each one. So I'm going to measure out 150 milliliters. We also want to pour at the same height. The rainstorm won't fall like this on one surface and then like this on another. So we're going to pour from the same height. And finally, we're going to pour at the same speed or rate. So I'm going to pour one at a time with 10 seconds each to help us keep those things the same or constant. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I'm hearing some runoff in there. Now let's see what happens with the bare soil, the bare dirt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, you can see that water running down, and maybe the bare dirt is soaking it up because it's really dry. We can also see these puddles here as well. And finally, let's see with the plants. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so with this plant, are you seeing or hearing any runoff from this plant? Now I'm not. And instead we're seeing runoff only from our cement. And we had some water that collected in our bare dirt as a puddle, but now you can see it even sunk into the ground as this bare dirt was so dry. So let's think about what this means. So when we have water that's running off it means that it's going away. It's going all the way down even to the beach. And when we have runoff on our streets, it's not just water that's running off, but that water can be picking up trash. It could be picking up dog poop and different things that are also making their way down into our beach communities in our watershed. And that's a problem too. And even when we have trash in our surfaces that don't get as much runoff, that means that that trash stays in our communities, it stays in our ecosystems and can affect the birds and animals here. So I want you to start thinking about what you can do to reduce the amount of trash in our community so that it doesn't run off and end up at the beach or stay in our community and affect our ecosystems here. So keep on thinking about those things as you are in your community today, and maybe you can even take action. So thank you for learning about runoff with us today. We look forward to learning with you more in the future.